Hey guys, this is Amir Akbari, and I'm just doing my presentation for Advanced Security Assignment 1. So for part A, we start looking into the security industry. As we already know, security is the complex industry, and it is really kind of computational. It is more competent, and then that means the individual must have the knowledge of the variety of the areas in the security. For example, the reverse engineering, network security, risk analysis, cryptography, and computer forensics, and the list goes on. And there was loads of them, I only mentioned six of them. Then for part B, we start looking into the code analysis tools. Um, I downloaded two of them. So the one I first want to download was the C app checker, which was a Windows version. And on the left hand side, we could see a screenshot of my application was running. So the code is from my last semester system software code from the assignment one. So we had this daemon which was running behind the Linux systems just to run up when the Windows come up and Linux comes up. So we could see kind of couple of problems, couple of warnings, and couple of style issues. For example, the daemon.c in line 41, we have a warning and printf format string requires zero parameters, but one is given. And then because we want to make sure this is the might not be the kind of we needed more specific tools to tell us more about it. So I went a little more deeper and I needed a Linux environment, so I didn't have it. So I start look into the WSL terminal, which we could install on your Windows and you could run Linux on it. So I start running Linux or Bento, and on your right hand side you could see it. So I start using a split and I look for all the weakness of my program and the syntax problems. So you could see this is giving me more kind of problems, this is giving me more warnings and more information about all the weakness, all the kind of security flaws, all the problems my program would have and it has basically which it was longer than the one before, which I checked with the C app checker. Then in the part C, we start talking about the kind of basic operators and advanced operators which can be used in Google search to make the search more specific and much better if you're looking for something specific. So for example, in the basic operators, if you used and, so we could just mention for looking in the weathers, for example, we could search for a snow and rain, snow and wind, or we could just talk about rain or wind. In more kind of advanced operators, we could just have this all in text. So whatever we put inside the bracket or inside the double quotes, we could say only look for this one, only search for these words, and it will bring wherever it's on the search with the full text. And then also, as we already know, other than Google and then Bing, we have other search engines. So for example, Coursera and DuckDuckGo, Yahoo, Internet Archive, Wiki.com, Ask.com, AOL.com. There might be more out there, but these were the top 10 I found. And then in the part D, we start talking about vulnerabilities. So the top 10 vulnerabilities was DOS, SQL injection, XSS, MITM, conditional stuffing, common injection, brute force attacks, downgrade attack, phishing attacks, and social engineering. And the list keep going, but these were the kind of top 10. Then I deep in more into the kind of vulnerabilities on the databases, and I found out the four or five databases which could help us to find these vulnerabilities. And then it was the national vulnerabilities databases, so NVD. Then we have CVE details. Then we have the CVE, which is common vulnerabilities and entries, and the list goes on. And to find this problem, there's kind of more programs out there. So basically, vulnerability detection programs. I found that I like basically came across two of them, and I just mentioned them as well, and talk about the next, which I talk more into it in my report. And yeah, that's all from me. Thanks for listening.